those, you know. Should start every day like that. Hi, everybody. Okay, so fair warning. I confidently ordered too much caffeine this morning. So what's going to happen is I'm going to stumble over my words a lot, talk really fast, and then abruptly fall off a cliff and have to lie down. So I may end up doing my panel like this. Just so we're all on the same page. Hi, back in Jersey. I moved back to the East Coast in December. And this is and we live up in Connecticut, and I haven't made it down to Jersey till now. Feet on the home ground. Jersey girls in the house? All right. I will be, just fair warning, incredibly disappointed if there is not an overabundance of Bon Jovi at karaoke. Just so you know. Nobody likes it. Disappointed mom. It's way worse than angry, am I right? Yeah. I think I've perfected the disappointing face. They said I couldn't break it.
Liz, Sam broke the mic.
I broke it. I told you I could. This is why I can't have nice things. I just touched it and then... I would be miming if it weren't for her. Okay, so in theory I would be able to see if there were any questions. I can see nothing. Oh, I hear a laugh though. There's, oh, cute person over there. Hi.
Hi, thank you. So, my question for you, when you came back on the show, technically your character would have been younger than your son. So I was wondering if you guys ever had any conversations about how that affected the relationship and things like that. It would have been really strange to have been in your late 20s, early 30s, and then come back to life with sons who are older than you.
Yes. There was a lot of discussion, even from the beginning, though, about how weird it was for me to be parenting people like a foot taller than me. Listen. If you want to go to your room, you should. Did they ever listen? No. 0 times. A little bit. I was so it was like the phrase I always use is drinking from a fire hose. I was like trying, so as Mary was trying to assimilate to being back to life, I was trying to assimilate to being like this new version of this character that had been heretofore so it was kind of like I was chasing on the heels of it all. And I think for them, they were just like, why is she always here? She won't go away. So it was just, the age thing was just one of many weird things that we had to sort of grapple with. Not the least of which that I was trying to pretend to be 29. I don't remember being 29, thank you. We immediately cut bangs and I got a circle light. And there were many occasions where, particularly Jensen, because he notices these things, but they're like, why does she get a bounce card? I'm like, I know your question is innocent, but I'm going to punch you in the eye. We all know what a bounce card is? No? Oh. let me educate you. So normally, because it's Jensen and Jared, they just walk on set and they're like, put the light here, they'll be fine. And they look like, and I get on set and they're like, okay, can we have 2 box lights? And maybe, I'm like, nothing, they put a light here, I'm like, are you crazy? Move that shit, over there. Angle, down, okay. White card, bounce card. Bill. Let me just tell you a little story. When I had to get my passport photo, I went into CVS and they're like, stand right there on that line. I was like, under the 8-foot fluorescent light? Are you insane? Like, just a second. And I went over to the arts and crafts department. Got a big white poster board. Okay, I'm ready. It's true story. And the 17-and-a-half-year-old kid taking my photo was like, are you going to pay for that? What is that? Why are you doing that? What is? I'm like, take the picture. So that was my main concern. Yeah, so I don't think there was a ton of, mostly they just had to listen to me no matter how old I was. Which they didn't, so it always moved. Anyway, so no. There was a lot of excitement over the fact that I had shoes and normal clothes. A lot of discussion over what my car would be. I'm not sure how we landed on an electric blue Charger. Does not seem very stealth to me. But it was fast. And there was much mirth over my inability to comprehend technology at all. Is that a computer? I was almost as clueless as Castiel. Fair, right? True and fair. Well, thank you for your question. Is that a question over there? No. Is there... Seriously? Oh, now I'm gonna have to, like, practice my stand-up.
I'll come back, I'm back.
Okay.
So as a follow-up question, just to like tag on to that, Mary essentially came back and like all of her worst fears were realized because the one thing she didn't want for her kids was to be raised in the hunting life. So now not only were they giants who were older than her, they were also like the epitome of what she had removed herself from. So
Correct.
yeah, I see a lot of people, like, I know you have no control over the writing stuff, talking about online how much they...
Oh no, I have complete control over the
I mean, if you want to write fic, you can, so... But,
what?
if you want to write fic, you can do that.
Fiction.
Like fiction.
Oh, I thought she said write fake. I'm really trying. Gotcha.
But I saw a lot of talk about how they hated her decision to work with the men of letters, when I was wondering how you viewed that for yourself to justify it, and like how it made sense to you, because she came back to a world where her worst fears were realized and she found a solution that potentially could have ended it.
Thank you.
And like given it, let her boys get out of this life, which I felt like was probably what she came back to do, and like
That was the goal,
what she
yeah.
could.
So, thank you. That is a very valid point in my opinion. So Mary comes back to life 33 years later, and I don't think there could have been more, like, in such a short amount of time. Even the the Industrial Revolution, the cars, all this stuff happened over a much longer period of time. She goes away, and you still are clicking the television with something that clicks, and you have 3 channels, like, and the TV went off at 11 with the Star Spangled Banner, okay? she comes back and people are watching videos on their phones. She's like, what the fuck? You can see where people were driving on that screen, like, and nobody's talking to each other. You're at breakfast and everyone's on their own little things. And I mean, and I remember talking to Phil Segrisha, and he's like, make a list of all the things that are different. I'm like, I don't think you get past the first one. I don't think you get past technology. Like, yeah, people are like, everyone has tattoos. People are, you know, styles have changed a little, but technology is the vast, overwhelming piece of our civilization right now. Like Twitter, are you kidding? So I don't think she could get past that. And so the things she took when she left, to everyone's delight, at the end of that third episode of season 12, everyone was really happy with Mary taking the journal and leaving. That was sarcasm. Was something that wasn't had like pen and paper. So, and I think she had a flip phone, like, you know. I forgot the question. So it was, oh, how did I justify working with the Men of Letters? So I say this all the time, and any of you who come to these frequently will be like, oh, she says that every time. Mothers don't do what's popular, they do what they think is right. And I had to not care if they were mad at me. Because I knew, in my opinion, in my brain, what my gut felt was right, was I needed to figure out who I was, and I needed to stop this. I wanted them not to fight, I wanted them not to hunt, I wanted them to have a nice, normal life. I think that ship had sailed, but still worth attempting. And the goal was pure. The goal was to eradicate the world of monsters so that they could just live. And if people, and if they, an extension, the audience, was mad at her for that, that was okay with me. Mary wasn't brought back to be a third hunting wheel. Mary was brought back to be a conflict in the story, and she succeeded. So I, as the person embodying Mary, had to agree with her choices. And if I didn't, I had to find a way to agree with their choices. It's weird though, sometimes don't we do something that we know maybe isn't the right thing, but we do it anyway? Yeah. So there's that too. You can have some doubt in your choice, but you also, once you make the choice, like, go. You can't be like make the choice and try it. And with the information she had, working with the Men of Letters at the time, was her best choice. I think there are people that disagree. And I think Mary disagreed after she was brainwashed by Catch. In retrospect. But she did get to shoot him in the face. So, you know, all's well that ends well. And also, I would just like to point out at this juncture that every Winchester has done the exact same thing on multiple occasions. Keeping secrets, doing something the other person doesn't like, doing it anyway, lying about it, and then apologizing. Every single one. Only Mary and a little bit of John gets in trouble for it. Just putting that out there. Thank you. See you in a minute.
Hi. I was wondering, since both Mary as a character and you had missed such a big chunk of the boys' hunting life and just the show in general, was there any episode or hunt you wished you could have gone on with them, either as yourself or as Mary?
Oh. Well, I think pretty much any one of us would like to go on any hunt with either of them at any time. A hunt for a burger, a hunt for, you know, a rougarou, doesn't matter. As far as Mary, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but did Mary really hunt with them much? No, there was that one ghost hunt, which then she left them sleeping and went on her own and then got possessed. That went well. And then on her own, she took out a couple vampire nests, there was some Rougarou melting, there was a werewolf hunt. That then, didn't Dean come in possessed as what's-his-face at the end of that werewolf hunt at the end of? Oh my God, they're all blending together.
The one where Cass almost died?
We don't want to talk about that. I was so injured during that shoot. Oh my God. Because Cass is like stabbed by some like unhealable staph wound, right? And we're in a barn and it's 30 degrees and it's a legit barn. So we're in this freezing barn for 3 days. And I wanted it to look real and I'm trying to, I've got Misha over my shoulder, right? Like leaning on me and I have to bust through a barn door and like limp into that barn where he eventually almost dies and then... Doesn't Crowley save him?
Yeah.
Plot twist.
He broke the spear.
He broke the staff, right. I mean, I fell down so many times. So I'm trying to... Misha, I'm like, really lean on me so it looks real. And I was like... Abort. Change plan. But because my hands were full, I had to hit the barn door with my hip. And it was so cold, I couldn't really feel it. But after like the 4th time, I was like... And I peeked at my hip and it was like a... It was like this already, because the barn slat just happened to be right at my hip level, and I'm hitting the corner. I'm like, okay, can we do this different? And then I get through, limp in, drop him on. There was like a removed seat from a truck or something that we drop him on. And in the very first take, Brad, the camera guy, is like, and we walk in, and I drop him, and I go, whoop, right out. Feet go out because it was frozen. I land, I hit the propane tanks behind me and they go over. And Brad, the camera guy, is just like... saw me like drop like a rock out of frame. I'm like, can I have those pads now? Oh, because the stunt man had asked me if I wanted pads. I'm like... Oh no, he did give them to me, but on my knees. Didn't land on my knees. It was not great. Anyway... This is how caffeine goes, by the way. So I was on a hunt with them, but that was more of we were being hunted in that episode. Yeah, there was a lot of fighting and kicking, and that was very challenging, that one. And it was cold. I bet it was cold, and I fell down a lot. So any hunts I would have liked to do. Nothing that comes to mind. Because actually, I was actually a little nervous when they brought Mary back that she was going to be like, what are we hunting today? Like, in the back seat, like, huh? Can we stop for snacks? Like, being like, or, be careful, don't forget your lunch. Like, I wasn't really sure. And so, I was actually shocked in that the 3rd episode back, I'm like, here I am. At first, it was only supposed to be 6 episodes. And so I was like, oh, they're gonna kill me. They set me off, they're gonna kill me again. Which they eventually did, but it took 3 seasons instead of 6 episodes, which I was thrilled about. I was so, and every week, in fact, after I got that script when they sent me off, I went to Bob Singer and I was like, so, when you kill characters, do you tell the actors ahead of time? Do they kind of just read it in the script? Because I've heard both things, just wondering if you're ever going to kill me. Can you please tell me before I read it in the script? Can you just let me know? He's like, oh my God. Which is eventually what happened. I was at the vet with my dog. I'm sitting in the waiting room and I answer my phone and he's like, oh, it's beginner. I've got Bob Singer and Andrew for you. I was like, great. Oh no. And so they're like, yeah, hey, how you doing? We're just talking about, just wanted to talk to you about, the way that the season's gonna go and the story arc for next year and what's gonna go happen with Mary. I'm like, is it death? And they were like, Okay. Okay. I could not, like, I was okay, I was really sad. It had to happen. I realized that it was longer than it should have been, but I loved working on this set. So it really, I was like, you're gonna do a whole season without me? Like, you know you have to bring it. I will talk to them. I did answer the phone one time in one of my Sammys with Sam's, and it was a telemarketer. That was fun. The person's like, great, now they know that I'm a person, thanks. Once again, I have forgotten the question.
I think you answered it.
I did?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Caffeinated Sam was kind of fun. A little confusing, but fun.
Hi. Hi. So I was wondering if you could have like a dinner with any character from Supernatural and like tell them one thing, who would it be and what would you say?
Oh. Well, I've got to have dinner with Dean. Oh, me, Sam, or me, Mary?
Yeah, you Sam.
Oh.
Like you as a person, not as Mary. Like who would you
To
have
sit with
dinner
a character.
Yeah, sit with a character as you yourself and like tell them something from your infinite wisdom.
I would have a word with Lucifer. About good attention and bad attention. And how they're different. They need some reparenting. And I think I would have to have dinner with Jodie just because. I mean, she's everything. So yeah. But first Lucifer, because he's in, yeah. He needs some boundaries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Over-caffeinated. How are you?
Same. So I know I flipped my lid for the best when I saw you return in the season finale. I thought it was going to be John, but I was like, oh, this is so much better.
Woo! Don't tell Jeff.
How far in advance did you know that you were going to be returning? Like, when did they approach you and say, hey,
Oh, well, some of you have heard this. I got the call in like February, and they filmed that episode in like the beginning or mid of April. But I didn't understand for a very long time that it was the season finale. I thought the series was over. Because I have long said, people are like, when are you going to come back? When are you going to come back? And after season 7, I was like, there are no more ways to come back. Like, there has been every option. Except to come back to life. Which I think they will bring me and John back in the series finale. And because it's supernatural, it has to be sad, and there will be some reason, and then we're not going to be allowed to know who the boys are. I'm like, that's what I would do, because the writers, if I were writers, the writers are just like, how can we torture them? So I was like, I knew it. I love being right. And I was like, I would be right. But I didn't have a script yet or anything. You only get the scripts like maybe a week before. So he said, do you want to come back for the finale? And I was like, of course. I knew it. And then like a while later, I was at Todd Aronauer's house. He was one of the